Sir Tony Lloyd to Wellington.
Thank you, Mr. Paisley. Can I just begin by thanking the honourable members for Glasgow North, Argyll and Bute for their comments about the reception 2 days ago, which actually was co-chaired by the IPU, the chair of whom is with us today, the member for Staffordshire Moor, and myself as chair of the all-party group on human rights. I just want to make a quick reflection. You know, I grew up in a world, I'm a little older than perhaps some people in this debate. I grew up in a world where Africa and other parts of the world were subjected to colonialism. When we saw South Africa descend into apartheid, when we saw proxy wars, brutal wars in Mozambique, Angola, we saw the decolonialisation process in Kenya was violent because of at least in part, the acts of our own society, even more so in French Algeria. I lived through the Vietnam War, lived through the bombing of Cambodia, lived through the atrocities that took place later on in Cambodia. And I could go on and on, military dictatorships in Argentina, Chile, and many other parts of the world. And actually here in Europe, Greece was under the heel of the colonels, Spain and Portugal were fascist dictatorships, and of course the east of Europe, as we used to call it, Central Europe today, was under the yoke of sometimes even military rule in Poland, but more generally of domination by the then Soviet Union. I don't say that to say it's always been bad. I say it because change can happen. And change happened in all of those places because of political will. And it's the political will that's inspired by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, by the Genocide Convention, that can make a material difference in this world. And we've heard some very good speeches today, and I congratulate everyone who's taken part. It is important that in this House of Commons, this Parliament of ours, we uphold the values of human rights. We've heard some very good things from the Minister, and I've got to say very good things that we as a nation can be proud of in terms of our own contribution, because it is that exchange that in the end, that exchange not simply of resources, although that does matter, but of values that can make a huge difference in this world and can enshrine the values of these two things we celebrate today and make the change around the world that's there. Now, obviously, in the end, there are very great specifics in this because there does need to be political will. There does need that political will to be internationalised. It's not enough for us to be a model country. We've got to be part of an international consensus for change. We need to build the institutions. Yes, that's the human rights defenders, the environmental protectors, it's the NGOs around the world. It's also, of course, those institutions, and I think it was my honourable friend for West Ham who mentioned the role of the International Criminal Court, looking to strengthen institutions, not simply the ICC, but others that can make a material difference. That's a role we have, again, to play our part in, but internationalise as well. But Mr. Paisley, I think the message that's come across today is that we must fight for the change that we want to see take place. We've heard some good things. We've actually heard commitment to real action. We need to see more action from our government, from all our governments. We need to see action on a global basis. But this debate, I think, has been significant because it does, once again, say that those who had the political will 75 years ago lit a light, and we must bear that light into the future.